Listen to me, and listen with your soul, not with those ears that only seek noise to drown out fear. You bring to me this desire to listen to something for 20 minutes, hoping that a recording has the power to alter the course of the planets in your life. You read, it's inevitable. It's simply going to happen, and your heart races, longing for a miracle that comes from outside in. What naivety. I am not here to give you empty hopes or to sell you sweet illusions. I am here to tell you who you are, and why your life is exactly as it is today. Look around you. Look at your difficulties, your loneliness, or your lack. Do you think this is a punishment? Do you think it's bad luck? Or worse, do you think it's destiny? Don't be foolish. The visible world has no creative power. Understand this before taking another step. Everything your eyes see, everything your hands touch, is merely the dead shell of past thoughts. Physical reality is just the delayed echo of what you whispered to yourself in secret, days, months, or years ago. You are living in a monument built by your own consciousness, and now you complain about the architecture. Do you want to use these 20 minutes to change everything? Very well, but know that inevitability is not in the magic of the audio, nor in luck. Inevitability is a law, cold, impersonal, and exact. The law states the following. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. Most of you live like sleepwalkers, reacting to the news, reacting to your bank account, reacting to others' opinions, allowing the outside world to dictate who you are inside. You put the cart before the horse and wonder why you don't go anywhere. As long as you wait to see to believe, you will remain a slave to the shadows. The secret the ancients knew and that you have forgotten is that consciousness is the only reality. There is no other substance. If you want something to be inevitable, you must go to the only place where creation happens, within. In these 20 minutes you propose to be silent. The challenge is not to ask reality to change. The challenge is to have the audacity, the absolute courage to ignore what your senses scream and assume the identity of what you wish to be. It's an identity exchange. You must kill the old man who believes in scarcity and put on the skin of the new man who already lives in abundance. No middle ground. If you enter this state of assumption with doubt, nothing will happen. But if you enter with the authority of one who knows that imagination is the true foundation of the universe, then mountains will move. Not because you asked, but because you became the mountain itself. Are you ready to take on this responsibility, or will you continue acting as a victim of circumstances? The choice is yours, but remember, the law never fails. What you assume to be true deep within your being, the world will be forced to reflect. This is what inevitable means. Now, let's move on to the principles. Pay attention. The first and most vital step for those who dare to govern their destiny is what I call the radical death of the senses. The great error, the fatal trap where most of humanity falls and perishes, is the idolatry of facts. You worship what your eyes see and what your hands touch as if it were absolute truth, but I tell you now with the full force of my conviction, the world of the senses is a graveyard. Everything you perceive outside yourself is merely the petrified past, the result of who you were and not who you are. If you continue looking to the outside to confirm if your desire is real, you have already failed before you even began. When my student Neville came to me, desiring to travel but without a penny in his pocket, surrounded by the cold snow and economic depression of New York, reality screamed that it was impossible. Facts said no. Logic said no. But the law does not bend to human logic. I told him, and I tell you now, you must have the audacity to slam the door in the face of the obvious. If your senses tell you that you are sick, but your imagination tells you that you are healthy, I ask you, who is lying? Your senses are lying, says R. They merely report the echo of old beliefs, while imagination is the only living substance, the womb from which all reality springs. To make this work, you must learn to completely withdraw your attention from the evidence that contradicts you. It's not ignoring like a scared child. It's disdaining like a king who knows the scenery is false. As long as you validate your problems, giving them attention and fear, you feed them with your own life. You must die to what your eyes show you. If your bank account is empty, that is irrelevant to your consciousness. If the diagnosis is bad, that is merely a shadow that has no power of its own, unless you grant it power. The objective world has no will of its own. It is a slave mirror, compelled to reflect what you hold true in secret. Therefore, the order is clear and severe. Deny the evidence. When you enter the silence of these 20 minutes, do not bring the world with you. Leave the real world outside the door. In that sacred space of the mind, the only truth is what you decide is true. If you assume you are prosperous, loved and free, and sustain that against the testimony of your senses, the outer world will begin to crack and crumble, chaotically reorganizing itself merely to conform to this new pattern. But it requires iron discipline. You cannot serve two masters. Either you believe what you see, or you believe what you imagine. Choose imagination now, for it is the only cause, and the physical world is merely its delayed effect. Before we move on to the next point, let me tell you something that can greatly accelerate your transformation. There's a powerful direct material that has changed many people's lives. It shows in a practical and structured way how to use visualization and the law of attraction to move from waiting mode to manifesting mode. You will learn to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions to attract exactly what you desire. Be it more financial freedom, healthy relationships, or a life with more purpose and ease. It's not loose theory nor empty motivational talk. It's real application with real results. If you feel it's time to stop just dreaming and finally start living what you deserve, this could be your next step. The link is in the pinned comment. Click, explore, and see what has already started to happen in the lives of those who decided to truly commit. Now then, let's move on to the next point. The second principle you must engrave with fire in your consciousness is the total abolition of time. Tomorrow is the refuge of fools and the prison of failures. The greatest trap the human mind creates for itself is the illusion that satisfaction is somewhere in the future, waiting to be achieved. I tell you with severity, the future does not exist. The future is merely a continuous projection of your now. If you say I will be rich, or I will be healthy, or I will be happy, you are signing at this very moment a decree that you are not these things. The future tense verb is a confession of absence in the present, and the law, which is blind and exact, does not hear your hope. It hears only your current conviction. You must understand that the name of the creative power within you is not I will be. Its name is eternally I am. There is no comma, no pause, no distance. To assume a state, you must bring it into the present moment, into the immediacy of now. Most of you use these moments of silence to dream of something distant, seeing your desire as an unreachable star on the horizon. That is futility. You must not think of the end, you must think from the end. There is an abyss of difference between thinking of your desire and living within it. Thinking of the desire maintains separation. Thinking from it is union. When you enter your room to practice, time must collapse. If you wish to be in a specific place, do not see yourself traveling there. Close your eyes and feel that the chair you are sitting in is the chair in that place. Feel the atmosphere around you now. If you seek health, do not imagine a gradual healing process. Appropriate explosive vitality now. Ask yourself, how would I feel at this instant if my desire were already a concrete fact? The answer to that question is the feeling you must capture and sustain. Do not leave for tomorrow the state of consciousness you can wear today. Understand that the universe does not respond to your clock time. It responds to your intensity of being. If you postpone the feeling of fulfillment, you postpone the manifestation. You must have the audacity to feel gratitude, relief, and joy now before any sign appears. The now is the only door through which creation enters the visible world. If you keep projecting your good into the future, it will always remain there, a day away, unreachable, like the carrot dangling before the donkey. Stop waiting. Waiting is a state of consciousness of not having. Abandon life's waiting room and enter directly into the banquet hall. Assume the feeling of it already is, for in the realm of the mind, the instant you dare to believe you possess, you truly possess, and time will bend to bring it into your reality. The third principle is the secret that separates the master from the amateur, and it is where I see most of you stumble and fall repeatedly. The law of naturalness, or least effort. Look at yourself when you try to change your life. I see the tension in your face. I see you frowning, clenching your fists, exerting tremendous mental force as if trying to move a concrete wall with thought. Stop that immediately. Effort is proof of your disbelief. In the realm of the spirit, effort is not a sign of power. It is a sign of weakness. One who already has does not make an effort to have. One who is does not struggle to be. Force denies, naturalness attracts. You need to understand that a state of consciousness only manifests in the physical world when it becomes natural for you. As long as your desire seems like a distant dream, a big thing, or an extraordinary miracle, it will remain out of your reach. The barrier between you and your goal is not destiny. It is the lack of naturalness. Ask yourself, how do you feel about the shoes you are wearing now? Do you walk down the street mentally shouting, I have shoes, I have shoes? Do you feel uncontrollable euphoria with every step just because you're wearing shoes? No. You feel it's natural. It's obvious. It's a fact so integrated into your reality that you don't even think about it. This comfortable indifference is the true seal of possession. It is precisely this level of naturalness that you must cultivate in these 20 minutes of immersion. Many confuse the feeling of the realized desire with an explosion of hysterical emotions. But intense emotion is volatile and unsustainable. The secret is not excitement, it is relief. It is the deep, silent exhalation of one who says, "Thank God, it's done. The problem is over." It is the feeling that it obviously belongs to you. When you manage to wear your new state with the same naturalness with which you wear old, comfortable clothes, the manifestation will be inevitable. You must remove your desire from its pedestal. Stop treating it as an unattainable idol and start treating it as an everyday fact of your daily life. During your silence, do not try to force the image. Instead, familiarize yourself with it. Make it common. If you desire wealth, do not imagine yourself swimming in gold coins like a cartoon character. Imagine yourself signing a check, paying a bill, or buying something simple with the complete absence of worry of one who knows the money is there. Feel the texture of the normality of abundance. The subconscious mind does not accept what is forced. It accepts only what feels true and natural. Therefore, your job is not to create a dazzling fantasy, but rather to impregnate your mind with the calm certainty that this is how things are now. As long as there is the feeling of trying to reach, there will be separation. When there is the feeling of, it is natural for me, the whole world will conspire to confirm your assumption. Make the extraordinary become ordinary in your mind, and it will become a fact in your life. The fourth principle is the trial by fire of your spiritual integrity, the exact point where faith separates from fantasy, the absolute prohibition against digging up the seed. Observe nature, which is infinitely wiser than your anxiety. If you plant a seed in the dark, fertile earth, what do you do next? You leave it in peace, you trust the hidden intelligence of the soil. But what do you do with your desires? You plant the assumption in a moment of clarity, and 20 minutes later, you dig it up again with your dirty doubts, turning over the earth with the shovel of fear to check if the roots have already sprouted. By doing so, you kill your miracle in the cradle. Understand once and for all, the how is none of your business. This is the hardest lesson for the human ego, which loves control. You want to know where the money will come from, who will make the call, which doctor will bring the cure. You want to dictate the means of execution to the universe. How arrogant. Your logical mind, limited to sensory data, does not possess the capacity to see the infinite and complex network of incidents that the law can orchestrate to fulfill your desire. There are millions of paths unknown to you, shortcuts your reason would never dream of. When you try to figure out the how, or when you worry if it will happen, you immediately leave the state of realized desire and return to the state of lack. Once you have done the work in silence, once you have felt the reality of your desire and reached that point of inner conviction, the work is done. It's over. The gestation has begun. Your only obligation from that moment on is to maintain fidelity to that state, without interfering. If you find yourself worried, anxious, or frantically planning how to make things happen, it's a clear sign that you don't believe you already have it. One who already has does not worry about how they will get it. One who already is does not agonize trying to become. Anxiety is proof of your disbelief. Therefore, the order is of monastic severity. Trust the invisible process. When you assume the end, you automatically build what we call a bridge of incidents. A series of events, coincidences, and encounters will occur to lead you to your goal. You may be led to act, yes, but it will be an inspired, inevitable action, not a desperate struggle. Do not touch the seed. Do not look back to see if the shadow is following you. Remember Lot's wife. Whoever looks back questioning and doubting turns into a pillar of salt, becomes paralyzed, dead in life, trapped in the past. Walk with the blind certainty of one who knows that the order has already been dispatched, and delivery is only a matter of time. Release control to gain command. The fifth principle is the supreme consummation, the final act that seals your destiny and separates masters from slaves of circumstance. Anticipatory gratitude. I look at the world and see multitudes begging, negotiating with the universe, pleading for changes as if they were helpless victims of a cosmic whim. And that is exactly why most receive absolutely nothing. Understand the cold mathematics of your own mind. The act of asking is the absolute affirmation of lack. Nobody asks for what they already possess. By pleading, you are shouting to the law, I don't have this, And the law, which is an impersonal and exact mirror, reflects your conviction of lack by giving you back only more emptiness. You must learn to use gratitude, not as a social courtesy or a religious prayer, but as a tool of mental engineering. Gratitude is the most powerful of all affirmations of possession. When you sincerely give thanks, you are not waiting to receive. You are acknowledging that you have already received. It is a total inversion of common logic, but it is the only logic that works in the creation of reality. If I were to place a diamond in your hand now, what would you do? You would say, "Thank you." Gratitude is the natural response to receiving. Therefore, if you want to convince your deep consciousness that your desire is real, you must feel gratitude before the object appears. This is the secret you must take into your silence. Thank you is the final seal on the contract of creation. During your 20 minutes, do not end by expecting something to happen in the future. End with the deep, almost physical feeling of relief. Giving thanks is the collapse of tension. It is the moment when anxiety evaporates because the problem has been solved. It is the sigh of one who has dropped a heavy burden of years and now walks lightly. It is the secret and silent joy of knowing that reality has already bowed to your will, even if your physical eyes have not yet witnessed the change. This anticipatory gratitude is what orders chaos to organize itself. It eliminates residual doubt, for it is impossible to be truly grateful for something and, at the same time, doubt that you have it. Giving thanks is recognizing the accomplished fact. Therefore, stop behaving like a beggar. Raise your head and assume the posture of one who commands their own existence. In the silence of your room, feel the satisfaction of the fulfilled desire until the only possible response from your being is a deep and vibrant, "It is done. Thank you." When you reach this point, where gratitude is your natural reaction even before the physical evidence, the universe has no choice. Matter is slow and heavy, but it is compelled to conform to the form that your gratitude has drawn. Now look at me. Don't look away. I have given you the keys. I have shown you that the walls you see around you are made of mist, not stone. But it is no use for me to give you the secret of kings if you continue to behave like a beggar at the door of life's palace. From this exact second, I forbid you to ask. Do you understand me? Stop asking for life to improve. Stop asking for money to come. Stop asking for love to find you. One who asks confesses that they do not have. And the law, in its mathematical precision, will continue to give you exactly that, the experience of not having. You must reverse the game. Your work, in these 20 minutes and in every minute that follows, is to command. Not with shouts to the sky, but with the silent and unshakable authority of one who knows what they possess. Enter your silence like a general enters his tent, not to discuss if victory is possible, but to draw up plans for how it will be enjoyed. Everything you seek already exists. It is not out there, waiting to be conquered. It is right here, waiting to be recognized. Health, wealth, love are states of consciousness. They are clothes hanging in the wardrobe of your mind. You don't need to create them. You just need to wear them. Wear the garment of prosperity, wear the skin of the beloved person, and don't take it off just because you opened your eyes and saw the old world. The old world is dead. Let the dead bury their dead. You live in the new. Leave here today with this certainty etched into your bones. The only thing preventing the inevitable is your own doubt. Remove the doubt, and the river of creation will flow without barriers. You say you want to change? You say you are ready? The theory ends here. The practice begins now. If you have the audacity to stop being a spectator of your own story and want the complete, no-nonsense map to master this art, the next step is right below. I have laid out the path in the pinned comment, but a warning. Do not click if you are only looking for entertainment. Go there only if you have the courage to take command and make it happen. The banquet is served. Sit at the table and eat. It is done.